Tea time on a rain-affected third day. The Adelaide Oval. This is ESPN Cricinfo match day, and you'd be happy if you're an Indian fan. The lead has been extended to triple figures now. Virat Kohli and Cheteshwar Pujara have seen things off till tea after KL Rahul's very unusual innings of 44 of 67. An innings though that took India to a 50 opening stand, and but for the wicket of Rahul just before tea, that would have been a nicer session for Australia, who put on 44 to their overnight score but fell 15 behind India's first innings score. Brad Hodge, VVS Laxman, Ajit Agarkar on the Tea Time show. If you're going into that Indian dressing room, are you satisfied at this point?
Yes, absolutely. So you'll be really confident, but the work is not completed. You got two most experienced batsmen in this Indian team at the crease. Pujara, brilliant 100 in the first innings. Virat Kohli looking composed, calm. And 100 runs lead is excellent. You know, it's about capitalizing on this. So the next session will be more hard work for the fast bowlers. But I think somehow KL Rahul will be really disappointed.
Yeah.
You know, and I am really disappointed the way he played his or approached his innings. You know, because it's not only about him getting out, but the way he's approached his innings and the way he's played some adventurous shots which he doesn't require to do, because he's a class batsman. There's amount of talent he has got. So somewhere down the line, I think he'll be disappointed that after getting a start, he again threw it away.
India the happier team at tea time?
Yeah, two of the best players in. Virat Kohli obviously just come in, but if Pujara and looks like this will be, if India has to win this test match, this will be the most important session for them. If they can get through this session not losing too many wickets, they'll have built up a sizable lead. Another 70-75 runs before the end of the day's play with not too many wickets down would be ideal. Yeah, India the happier team. I think there's enough happening for a spinner in particular, and the seamers obviously are all three of them are very, very good. So India will this next little half an hour after tea will be critical not to lose any wickets.
Yeah, by all means, it's not India haven't run away with it in any stretch of imagination, because they could, one wicket could bring a few more. Brad Hodge, we saw a bit of needle from Australia in that session. It was nice to see some chatting from Pat Cummins and Mitchell Starc and Hazelwood when KL Rahul was trying to hit everybody for 6 over cover.
Yeah, that's the Australians we want to see, in the contest. And it was a weird innings from KL Rahul. There was some really good defensive play mixed in with some extravagant shots, and there was some frustration shown by the Australians, only because they've worked on a process and bowled very well with the new ball actually, and really VJ and KL Rahul weathered that storm. And then we saw some expansive shots and some frustration shown by the Aussies, but all in all, it was a pretty competitive session.
Why don't we speak a little about that KL Rahul innings? I'll start with you, Haji, because you've been watching this from the ground and you obviously might have seen that little chat going on between the fast bowlers and Rahul, maybe in between overs or in between balls. Was there a conscious effort to try and dominate? Did it seem like the words were getting to him, or was it just a predetermined plan that this is how he's going to play?
No, it only really happened from the moment that Patrick Cummins come on after about the 11th over. Prior to that, he'd played very methodically and technically correct, and then all of a sudden he tried to launch Cummins over extra cover. Then there was a loose shot off the back shoe, then he hit 1 for 6 over point, and it looked like he just sort of flicked the switch, but very unconventional. I sort of agree with VVS that he's thrown away a really good opportunity to go forward. He'd done all the hard work and exposed his captain before the tea break with a rash shot.
Yeah, I like that you use the word flick the switch, because it seemed VVS at times that switch was going on and then even after some time going off, because there were moments then he started playing very normally to the merit of the ball, and then again in another over he decided he's going to go for it. Eventually it was one shot too many.
So that shows is nothing wrong with his technique.
Yeah.
It's more about his game plan, more about his mindset.
What is his game plan? Can you read into
at the moment I'm myself not sure what his game plan is, because I've followed KL Rahul's progress as an international cricketer. I followed him right from the time he started making those big runs for Karnataka, South Zone, and he was someone who was technically correct. He was someone who had that conservative approach, or an approach of building an innings, pace his innings, and had a mindset to play long innings. So when you're playing in that fashion, I think Sarmo over the last 2 years, since he achieved a lot of success in T20 cricket, playing for RCB, then last year for Kings 11 Punjab, this aggressive nature has crept into his game. There's no problem in being aggressive, but I think at international level, when you have all the shots, there's so many shots along the ground, proper technical, correct shots, You know, wherever the ball is pitched up, he's got good long stride, playing the cover drives, playing the back foot punch. He can play the pull shot, he can play the cut shot. But why does he require to play the extravagant lofted shots, which probably is a T20 shot according to me? So somewhere down, I think he's not sure himself how to approach, how to build an innings, and that's not a good place to be.
Do you sense premeditation in his game, that he's decided before and he's going? It's all about making the right judgment on that ball, but do you sense a bit of premeditation creeping in?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, because you can play even the ball which he got out. If you see his position of his upper body, it was very, very upright. You know, when you're playing against quality fast bowlers, you're playing in Australia or you're playing in subcontinent conditions, you know, it's very important to transfer your body weight. You know, your body weight goes forward, you take a long stride, you can play on the rise, but, you know, along the ground, through the cover region, there are enough gaps there for him to get boundaries. It's not important for him to get sixes. And this is not the first time it happened for him. Even when he played in England, he was getting out in this fashion. So somehow deep down, I think he just lost the way to build an innings, to pace an innings, you know. And I've played with some of the most destructive batsmen world cricket has seen, someone like a Sehwag, someone like a Matthew Eden. So there was a particular plan, the way they paced their innings, the way they build their innings. They still used to be aggressive batsmen. Their strike rate would be more than 50, 60, 70, someone like Viru. But there was a method to the way they approach their innings. I don't see that method at the moment in KL Rahul's approach.
Yeah, I mean, you got a big 100 recently, and you'd think that we're still discussing he's not, but even that 100
I think that shot
this
made
enigma of it.
Rohit's shot look good in that first inning, to be honest.
As a fast bowler, as a bowler, you're happy bowling to a batsman who's playing like that. You fancy your chances, wouldn't you?
Yeah, very much so. And the Aussie bowlers are bowling well. It wasn't as if they were, you know, off today, and that's why he's decided to go after them and cash in on the bad balls. Yeah, there's no real plan as such. He, you know, it was almost okay. I'll have a go and see. I mean, he got dropped at backward short leg by Finch as well in that little inning. So, yeah, as a bowler, you'd be happy, even on a decent pitch, not much happening, because I mean, that shot just came out of nowhere. At least the shot over cover or that cover drive later on was a little bit, you know, pitched up, or in his half, if you like. This one was just of a good length, not really even
and
trying
like
to...
VVS says, he's not trying to just hit it for 4. He's decided he wants to hit it all the way. I mean, he's almost trying to hit it too
basically
hard.
a nothing shot of a good ball. And you're hoping that you get lucky, you miss it, or takes a sort of thickish edge and flies off. So, yeah, a really poor shot in the context, because he'd done all the hard work, gotten through that difficult period, if you like, of the new ball. 40 odd, you want to cash in.
If he sees himself as a batsman who wants to play aggressively and give India a quick lead like Virender Sehwag did, and if you're going to compare him and say, maybe we thought he'll bat more like Rahul Dravid or Pujara, but he wants to bat more like Sehwag and he has the game, there may be nothing wrong with it. But if you have to compare Sehwag's methodology and Rahul trying to do the same thing, where is Rahul falling short?
I think just a short selection.
That's it.
So I think, you know, even Viru had a strong defense, and Viru also knew where and when to score runs. You know, like anything, even the first ball, if it is wide outside the off stump and that is his scoring area, then he would play the uppercut over point or third man region for a 6. But whenever the ball was into his body, he didn't pull so often or well, so he used to block or take a single. And he was rock solid as far as defense was concerned, full face of the bat. The problem is, you can throw your bat around if the ball is jagging around, because I've seen a lot of batsmen do that because they feel that it's just 1 or 2 deliveries away from getting out. So in the bargain, what they can do when it's seaming condition, it's swinging, and you know that you can't survive for a long period of time, in the bargain I can probably just look to accelerate and score as many runs as possible, then it's fine. This is a flat wicket and he was in control. It's not that he doesn't have the shots. Even against Nathan Lyon, he was playing reverse sweep so comfortably he was playing. So it's more about the mindset, and somehow he has to sit down and work that out, because what's happening is he's not doing justification to the talent he has got,
I mean,
and the range
and
of
the kind
shots
of
he's
backing
got.
that he gets from the team management as well.
Yeah, lots of backing.
I mean, that's a great opportunity lost.
I mean, you might look at the scorecard and think, are we going too harsh? As KL Rahul got out for 5, he's got 44 on it, but it's just the situation of the game as such, and how, again, it's been 2 unforced errors or 2 wickets given to Australia after a steady start by both Vijay and Rahul's partnership of 63. It's their first 50 partnership outside India. So just have a look at a comparison between how they did the hard job with the new Kookaburra ball. Left alone nearly 30%, both of them solid in defense, and then there were some shots too. So looking at that, it looked like an improvement VVS early on.
Oh, definitely. So there was a lot of discipline, and they were circumspect when the ball was pitched outside the off stump. But the end result, both Murli Vijay played away from the body. That's fine. As an opener, sometimes trying to play the cover drive, you can play, you cannot reach to the pitch of the ball. But I think today they left a lot more deliveries. They showed the discipline, and that's why it was a very patchy innings. On one side it was a test match innings, on the other side it's a T20 innings from KL Rahul. And the reason why we're talking about KL Rahul is not the score, but the potential a batsman has. When that potential is not being translated into performances which he's capable of doing, and as Ajit mentioned, there's so much of investment you're putting in him. So you want to reap rewards from that investment.
Not doing a bit.
I mean that's 2 bad shots played in a test match.
Yeah, simple as
both
that.
innings. So you want to see improvement every innings. Unfortunately, runs wise maybe there has been a little bit, or the approach at the start of the innings, but not the way he's gotten out.
This game continues, Haji, to be one of just batsmen just giving wickets away, gifting their wickets. Just when you think one team can dominate a session, India could have gone into tea without a wicket down, and you continue to have guys that even if we see improvement, they can't resist temptation after seeing out the new ball to just keep playing some shots.
Well, it's frustrating, isn't it? I mean, there's still 2.5 days left in the test match and great opportunities to score runs. And for KL Rahul and Murli Vijay, if Shaw is coming back or potentially coming back, in the next match. So, and you assume he gets selected. So you'd like to see a little bit more discipline and a lot more pride put on the wicket instead of throwing the wickets away or playing loose shots outside off stump. And as a coach, you want your players to learn from your mistakes. I think that's the growing nature. And VVS has summed it up, saying that the potential of these guys can be, enormous. And such a good player is KL Rahul, after doing all the hard work, should be walking off the ground with 120 to his name at the end of play.
And conditions certainly were there for the taking for KL Rahul. Match situation, conditions, India in the lead, not to be. So this debate will go on the enigma of KL Rahul. Take a question from you guys now as they come in on our live Facebook feed. Has the pitch hardened up since yesterday? Driving the ball seems easier now. Haji, I'll let you take that one. Is it looking a little better, driving a little easier?
Yeah, I think a little bit of moisture may have come onto the wicket, in the early morning. So I think the ball was just skipping through a little bit. The lights are still on. So generally when the lights are on any ground, it does seem to just quicken up a fraction. But yeah, it looks fantastic for batting. There's still some good movement with the ball. So that period of the first 10 overs where India negated the Australian attack was very important. And now you see 2 guys at the crease who potentially could bat for long periods of time.
Yeah, and yet, 22 wickets have fallen, run rate has never gone over 3. It seems like whatever you do for the batsman, they just throw it away these days. If only it was like that 15 years back, Mr. Agar. It's a good time. It would have been a good time for you to bowl.
No, I mean, you want, like Haji said, you want them to put a prize on the wicket, especially after getting a start. Australia were a bit sort of frustrated, desperate for a wicket at that stage. Imagine going into tea 100 ahead with just 1 down. Puts that much more pressure on Australia. Then you, as a bowler, start to try a few more things because you don't just have to stop the runs but get the wickets as well. Gives you more scoring opportunities as a batsman. So good time for Australia to get a wicket, bad time for India to lose one.
If you're an Indian batsman, what should be the thought process? Is the bowlers got you back after a dismal batting performance, after winning the toss, and this is a great opportunity to start the tour on a winning note. And once you win the first test, the pressure will be on the home side, the momentum will be on your side. So this is a time where we capitalize on the opportunity. Beautiful strip to bat on, and let's have a target which will be impossible for the Australians to chase, and that should be 300, 350. And this Indian team has got the quality to achieve that, So that should be the mindset. It's not about how you get your runs, but it's about how many runs you get. Everyone will have a different approach, but as Aji mentioned, you have that approach. You play the way you want to play. But in the end, how many runs are you contributing to the team will be very, very crucial.
Okay. Well, what about the Aussie bowlers themselves now? And they're just comparing how they've gone on their lengths, the Australian bowlers from the first innings to the second. Do we see much of a difference? Not quite, more of the good length, so pretty much similar numbers to what we saw in the first innings. Mitchell Stark's use, Ajit, you were just wondering as the strike bowler and having just pegged a wicket whether Tim Payne could have used him a little more. It also doesn't seem
Yeah, I
to,
mean, it worked,
Yeah.
getting Hazelwood back,
Yeah.
but I think sometimes maybe they're a bit too conservative, whether they've only decided that he's going to bowl 3 or 4 over spells and that is it, but sometimes the situation should dictate that. I thought, yeah,
there are
I mean,
fast
just
bowlers
4
that
and
like
3
bowling
overs.
long spells and get into the rhythm in that.
Yeah,
Does he strike you as one of those?
he should be at this stage. If Australia's got only 1 wicket and 100 runs behind, you want to give it your all. It is going to be today and maybe first session tomorrow where Australia is going to come back in the game if at all. So you don't want to conserve your bowlers then.
You feel, Haji, that if there is going to be a collapse, then it has to come through one great spell from any of these good fast bowlers. Mitchell Stark, is there an impression that he's a bit conscious about the workload? Australia are a bit conscious about his workload, don't want to give him long spells? Any of that you're getting? Would you like to see one guy just bowl at one end, get in and get 1 wicket, maybe get 2 or 3 together?
I think that's what will happen with Nathan Lyon, and I think they'll do the same roles as the Ashwin and Lyon did, where they operated at this river end most of the day, and the quicks were rotated around at the cathedral end. But all in all, I think that Tim Payne maybe need to give more opportunity to Mitchell Stark with an earlier ball if it is moving and swinging. If he goes for a few runs, that's fine. But he's a wicket taker. He's a dangerous individual, and we've got 2 new batsmen at the crease now just after tea. Maybe that might be the opportunity to chuck the ball to your premier quick and say have a go now.
All right. Thank you very much, Brad Hodge. One final comment from you. Players already on their way back. I believe when Virat Kohli came out to bat, he was received with some boos around the crowd. Was that true?
I didn't see that actually. I hope that's not the case. I mean, he's a tremendous sportsman, and it won't be good, if that sort of stuff's happening. But I was trying to set up my spot here in the media centre, so I didn't quite catch the reception for Virat.
Don't worry about it, Haji. And we look
need
forward to the
respect,
next side part of the
superstars
Adelaide
game.
Oval that you show us. Thanks, Haji. We look forward to the rest of the Adelaide Oval that I'm sure you'll show us with each different show. Many thanks to Brad Hodge. A quick look at the Fab 4 leaderboard as things stand. And Mitchell Stark was picked by, I think, Mr. Agarkar. So he's going to be reasonably happy about how he's getting some points on. We just throw that up for you. We'll pick it up at the end of the day. Remember, this is when VVS, Ajit and Haji have picked 4 players. Depending on how they do, they get points. So players already out there. Big session to dictate the course of this test match. Thank you, Ajit. Thank you, VVS.
Cheers.
We'll get their thoughts along with Brad Hodge at the end of the day for our post show on ESPN Cricinfo Match Day.